Picture this: a frail British pensioner, bundled in blankets in his small bungalow, struggling to get warm. Every movement is a painful effort as he drags a single plug-in heater from room to room. This isn't just a random scene, it's a harsh, shocking reality for elderly Britons who, after years of hard work and loyalty, are now left freezing by the very government they trusted. Labour's recent budget, driven by Chancellor Rachel Reeves, has stripped away winter fuel payments from millions, leaving them shivering in silence. Today, we're diving into the depths of this scandal, uncovering what Labour's policy really means for our elderly and why the public is outraged. And now, before we continue, we're going to show you a short clip that exposes how desperate pensioners like Billy Pounder have become. They're moving small heaters room to room, simply trying to survive the winter. Watch closely. It's a powerful, eye-opening glimpse of the harsh consequences of Labour's budget decisions. And if you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we're revealing even more shocking details about Labour's budget impacts throughout this story.
And what are you having to do to try to keep warm this winter? Because it must be quite difficult for you.
Well, last year I bought a little fire because I got the extra £150 last year. Yeah. So what I saved on what I would have paid, I bought a little fire, and I can move it from room to room so I don't have to heat the full bungalow.
So you moved this fire. Can we have a look at it? I think it's just here, isn't it? So if we spin it round, so it's this fire here that you're looking at now. And you move that room to room in this bungalow so you can stay warm.
Rather than heat the full bungalow up, you know, there's just me in there at the minute, so rather than heat the full bungalow up, I just move it around.
Billy, do you think it's fair, this? I mean, look, Labour are very adamant. They say, look, hey, you know what, we've got to do this because of the black hole and that we don't want to do it, and it's a real shame. But you've worked all your life, haven't you, really? Yeah. Does it feel fair to you? Does it feel like they do really have to do it to you?
No, it doesn't feel fair at all, because
Billy Pounder's story has struck a nerve across the UK. A retired miner from County Durham, Billy's life isn't easy. He's fought through throat surgery, 3 heart stents, and is battling arthritis every day. But his determination and pride have kept him moving, quite literally, as he drags his small portable heater from one room to another in a desperate attempt to stay warm. Billy is no stranger to hardship. He's endured decades of labour and health challenges, always pushing through. What he didn't expect was to be left in the cold by the very party he trusted to support him. Just a few months ago, Billy was among the millions who voted Labour, putting faith in Sir Kier Starmer and his promises of stability. But today, that faith has been shattered. "It doesn't feel fair at all," Billy told GB News. "They're letting immigrants in who haven't contributed anything to this country, while I've worked all my life, and now I'm left scrimping and scraping." His frustration is palpable, and for good reason. He's paid into the system for decades, only to be abandoned when he needs it most. Labour's recent cuts to the winter fuel payment system will impact millions of pensioners, just like Billy. Where 10.8 million elderly Britons once received these vital payments, the Labour government's budget slashes this number down to just 1.5 million, leaving countless people facing a long, freezing winter. These cuts are part of what Labour claims are tough choices, but for pensioners already struggling with the cost of living, it feels like a devastating betrayal. Sir Kier Starmer addressed these concerns in an interview with GB News, offering a response that many found alarmingly detached. "We are protecting the most vulnerable with pension credit," Starmer said, defending Labour's decision to keep payments only for those on means-tested benefits. He attempted to reassure the public, claiming the party's commitment to the triple lock will increase pension payments by up to £475 next year. But for pensioners like Billy, the promise of a small increase next year is cold comfort when faced with the immediate reality of this winter's financial burden. The fallout from this budget isn't confined to pensioners either. Rachel Reeves is rumoured to be considering an extension of the freeze on tax allowances, which has already hit savers hard. Freezing these tax thresholds effectively pushes more people into higher tax brackets, a phenomenon known as fiscal drag. Financial experts are warning that this stealth tax could drag millions more Britons into higher rates, hammering their savings and squeezing family budgets. Coventry Building Society recently reported that this decision could generate an additional £12 billion in taxes by 2029, primarily impacting middle-class savers and pensioners who rely on their nest eggs for a comfortable retirement. Labour's budget also poses serious threats to savers through potential caps on ISAs. Accountancy firm BDO has warned that a lifetime cap of around £500,000 could be imposed, limiting the amount people can save tax-free in an ISA. This restriction would deal a massive blow to Britons who have diligently saved over their lifetimes to shield their hard-earned money from high tax rates. Labour's priorities appear clear. They're focused on plugging the government's £40 billion financial gap, even if it means slashing support to pensioners and punishing savers along the way. The tension surrounding this issue has started to fray nerves even within Labour's own ranks. Behind closed doors, sources report that many officials are privately horrified, worried that these budget cuts are alienating key voting demographics. Labour's leadership seems to be banking on short-term fixes at the expense of long-term relationships with loyal voters, and if they think they can disregard the outcry over winter fuel payments and stealth taxes, they may be in for a brutal wake-up call. But Labour's balancing act isn't just economic, it's also straying into murky diplomatic waters. As if abandoning pensioners and hammering savers wasn't enough, the Labour leadership is reportedly considering a move that could inflame tensions with the international community, returning the Elgin marbles to Greece. Though seen by some as a nod to global sentiment, this decision could fuel a diplomatic backlash at home, where many Britons feel the marbles should remain a part of the UK's heritage. Labour's approach to this issue, prioritising international appeasement over domestic concerns, has left voters feeling as if their government is more concerned with currying favour abroad than protecting its citizens at home. As we approach the full announcement of Labour's budget, it's clear that this government's financial strategies have pushed loyal supporters to the edge. The Labour leadership's call for hard choices and fiscal restraint may sound pragmatic, but for the millions of Britons left without crucial winter aid and burdened by rising taxes, it feels more like a slap in the face. Billy Pounder's story is the stark reality of Labour's policies. Elderly citizens, after decades of hard work, struggling to stay warm in their own homes. As more details emerge about Labour's financial plans, it's becoming evident that the very people they promised to support are paying the highest price. Labour may insist that these measures are necessary to stabilise the economy, but if their strategy involves freezing out pensioners and draining savers, they could face a fierce backlash at the polls. As Billy Pounder drags his heater from room to room, one question lingers. Has Labour forgotten who they're really meant to protect?